Hey, Turf Talk. It's always a pleasure for us to get with the right situations, the right moments, and this is something we're proud to present in the high school football world. Myself, Trevon Smith, we couldn't do it without my guys, Coach Gary, Coach Dennis. So we always start off with the introduction to them. Coach Gary, how's everything been going on with you? Give us an update. I know you guys we haven't been really doing Turf Talk as a group because you guys both have sons doing high profile things. So go ahead and talk to us, Coach Gary. How's everything going?
Man, I'm blessed and highly favored. For 2026, I've learned all you have is all you need. A real friend claps for you, a competitor calculates, and I am because we are. I know that sounds deeper than Titanic. Basically, what I'm saying is, just because someone's in your circle doesn't mean they're in your corner. And uh, me and KB1, we've been grinding like some bad brake pads, man. We've been out there getting it in, and I just want everybody to know that GB1 is go time, and I want to say this to all our listeners, man. We all owe someone some form of love, but we don't owe everyone access to us. So for 2026, it's gonna be a new day, new way, and it's on and popping. It's
Coach,
on and popping.
Coach Gary, for the people that may not know who GB1 is, go ahead and can you speak on that a little bit more?
Yes, my son is Gary Bryant Jr. He plays for the Oregon Ducks. I want to elaborate a little bit about it. First, let me get the elephant out the room. The Oregon Ducks just got their fronts knocked out by the Hoosiers, 56-22. But seriously, Gary Bryant Jr. That's my son. I'm Gary Bryant Sr. He's off to a new chapter. From grade school to high school to college. He's been a high achiever. He posted on his IG, giving thanks to God, family, coaches, and friends. But he ended it by saying, "The marathon continues," and I think we all have to relate to that because the journey is a marathon; it's not a sprint. Gary's been highly decorated. He's on his journey. He's been an All-American, top wide receiver in the nation, Oregon Duck degree. He has a USC degree, and he just signed a Nike. But the main blessing that my son has is that he had to deal with adversity. That's the main blessing that he's had. And for me as a dad, when he jumps off the porch into the grass, he'll be able to jump over the rocks and maneuver through the snakes. So I think adversity is a good thing. I think that this is going to really the journey got him ready for manhood. And last but not least, he just declared for the NFL draft. And as we speak, he's training in Texas right now for his pro day. So God is good. I'm very proud of him. And hey, like he said, the saga continues, the marathon continues.
Definitely good luck with GB1. That's
Yes,
one
sir.
of that's one of my co-hosts, Brian Senior, right there. Coach Dennis, talk to me. Tell us a little bit about what's going on, the update with you, personal, whatever, your
Yeah.
son, whatever you want to get into.
First of all, I'm Coach Dan, ready to get it in. I'm a D-line coach at Corona Centennial. I've been there 11 years. My son happened to go to Corona Centennial as well, and from Corona Centennial, he went to USC. Uh, he was at USC. He was the first freshman to start at USC in since 2005 at D lineman. Now he's at he went from SC, played 3 years at SC, and he was the Niners' first pick in 2022. Um, he had a knee surgery. He had opportunity to go to Super Bowl. He had a knee surgery. He was cut by the Niners in June, and he got picked up by the Washington Commanders in October. So he played all the way into October, and right now he's waiting on his second contract. We got a call from his agent just 2 days ago, Drew Rosenhaus. It sounds like the Redskins are going to pick him back up. They're working on a deal right now. So my son is Drake Jackson. Drake Jackson, yeah.
No, definitely a
Right.
pleasure. I just have to get my co-host out the way. I definitely want to make the way around the room so we can get into tonight. Coach Atkins, I'm gonna start with you. Go ahead and talk about any accolades, how the season was last year, and what you guys got going on this year, please.
Uh, for those of you guys that don't know me, my name's Coach Anthony Atkins. I'm the head football coach at Salesian High School. I've been at Salesian for since 2011, but I've been the head coach since 2019. Had several stints, several places with my guy, Coach Devan Thomas, who was at St. Pius Mathias. on the same staff together. As far as my squad, we're young. I think that we're definitely getting back to the midst of things how we were in the earlier 2000s, 11s, and 12s, and all that good stuff. As far as with the top talent that we've been able to get. Last year, we were playing the Division Six. We lost Ventura, the team that won state. So it's growth every year. Every year that I can truly say we're competing for a championship, that's a good thing. And our expectations are always going to be high. I'm just blessed to be able to minister to these boys on and off the field every time I get a chance to speak.
Yes, sir. Coach,
Yes,
Coach,
sir.
Welcome.
Coach Thomas, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, any accolades, what school you at, and what you got going on, sir.
I'm Devan Thomas, head football coach at St. Pius X, St. Matthias Academy, aka the Big Man Downey. As a young head coach, it's one of the us having a program this year. Oh, this year behind us having a program. It's year number six is me being the head coach. I've been to three championships as a head coach in 5 years. We won one the school's fourth ever championship last year in school history. Won the CIF championship and regional championship. We lost the championship this year back to back. The first time in history we've been very to make
I off, Coach Maxie, go ahead and take that over. Tell us a little bit about the accolades,
My boy.
where you at, and what you got going on. Hopefully, Coach Curtis will get back online.
What's going on? I'm Coach Maxie, man. It's my 17th year in high school. It'll be my third year as a head coach. Just finished my third season at Baldwin Park High School. We lost in the CIF championship on the last second field goal. Um, I've just a guy, man, that's kind of a build a powerhouse guy instead of join the powerhouse. Everywhere I kind of go, um, the success wasn't great there prior, and I kind of get there and work my magic and kind of turn things around as far as turning into a winning program, and also on top of it, getting kids out to college. Um, I've been around a lot of great, talented young kids. GB's one of them, man. I had the pleasure of coaching his son early on in his career. Um, Coach Drake been around him as well early on in pro way days. So I've just been grinding, man, and you know it ain't easy, to get to the seat that guys like me and Coach D and Coach Ant, Coach Curtis sit in. We might make it look easy from the far, man, but it's a lot of grind, man. It's a lot of getting your hands dirty that goes into this, and one of it, man, is just kind of staying true to yourself. I
Yeah.
think a lot of guys try to, um, I think a lot of guys, and for one, they try to take shortcuts. You know what I mean? And ain't no shortcuts to success. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't like to kind of see it, because I went through the grind, and I think the grind is what made me the man I am and the head coach I am today. And just to be able to bless young men and help guide them through life, because at the end of the day, our main job is to create men. Um, Only so many get continue to play football, but a lot more are going to be employees, fathers, and husbands one day. So just want to continue to keep my hands on them, man, and lead them the right way.
Right.
Hey, man, I think everybody on here is doing a great job, and it's good to see, brothers, being mentors and head coaches and stuff that we didn't know that you guys were going to be a part of when you grew up. Coach
Hey man,
Curtis.
I wrote a little something as we do it for all our guests here on Turf Talk. I wrote something for you coaches, and it goes like this.
Yes, sir. Until they get on, have
I, I
everybody
think
put.
I think we got a little turbulence going on. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, here we go. This is for you coaches. From the sweet peaches of Georgia to the oil pits of Texas to the Florida Gators and haters, Mark Davis Mendoza's to the Las Vegas Raiders. From coast to coast, we've seen many champs. California State certified. We got this on clamp. From the hoghead cheese that comes from Wisconsin, West Coast Turf Talk. Big D, he from Compton. Cheddar. In my opinion, Nate Dogg said it best. California coaches stay certified. Nobody does it better. That's what.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, we always trying to represent. So, look, we're gonna keep it moving. We'll get him the man his respect when he shows up. Coach Atkins, I'm gonna start it off with you. Some of the difficulties going on now, coaching. I don't want to age us and say how long we've been doing what, but what's the difference now? What's going on now? What's some of the difficulties dealing with programs and raising these kids and getting them, off to college? Just anything that you go through as a head coach.
I mean, one of the biggest thing is nowadays is just basically dealing with all the extra stuff that comes with football. Back in the days, the landscape of everything has changed. It was one point in time where there's 125 to 130, 140 rosters, right? Now everything is capped at 105, right? So now everything is turned into a business. So back in the day when you could tell a kid that that hard work pays off, and if you keep grinding, you'll get this. That's not the case nowadays because with the transfer portal and with NILs, it's totally different. I was talking to a coach earlier today, and he was saying how they just gave a guy $975,000, right? So now
Mm.
how can you preach to a kid, right? And you can tell them about, stay in the course. And that's what we always say, trust in the process, because we use that. That's a cliche that we use very so often when it's not the case. That's not the case anymore. The case is, what I'm saying? Everybody's going for this quote unquote chasing the bag, right? So now I think coaches have to evolve and find out and get educated on how we're going to deal with things, right?
Right.
And you got coaches that are blatant about the fact that, hey, I'm not taking anybody 18 years old. I want 21 and over. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that, it gets a little discouraging, especially because, what I'm saying, I can attest for myself, Coach Thomas and Coach Maxie, that our heart is in it, and we're doing this as a ministry. So how do you go to a kid that pouring his all in all out, what I'm saying, to tell him, it might not happen this way. Your avenue might be junior college, you know what I mean? Your avenue might be a D3, NAIA, you know what I mean? Well, back in the day, you know what I'm saying, coaches were confident about if you had a talent, hey, this talent go get picked up. That's not the case anymore. And I know, I know myself and a couple of other coaches that we struggle with that nowadays. It's just, staying educated with it. All three of us was at the coaches convention that just happened last week, and just trying to stay on top of how we can get better as coaches and continue to pour success in our guys and make sure that they're encouraged and not discouraged.
Right.
Definitely, we appreciate that, Coach Atkins. Coach Thomas, what about yourself? Some things you have to go through at the high school level now. How about the difficulty with the parents? Because everybody think their son is Reggie Bush. You
Yeah,
know,
I think Coach Hamp he took the political route, but I'm gonna take I'll be the one to break the ice on this, man. I think
From Compton.
the worst, yeah, like, sure, the worst thing about football today is the parents. Like, what I'm saying, they ruthless,
Right.
kind of like very disrespectful.
Yes.
Point where you pouring your all and giving, like, we spend more time with their kids than they do. They really kids just going home, laying down, they taking a shower, coming back to school and with us from. I mean, I work at the school, so they with me from sun up to sundown. And it's like when something not going their kid way, like nowadays, these teenagers, they try to control the narrative. So they go home and tell mom, "Oh, coach don't like me because I'm getting on them about being responsible or being respectful, like accountability." So, oh no, man, like you don't like my baby, you picking on my baby. Like I would never do that. I don't have a dog in the race. I don't have no kids. So what do I get out of picking on him? You feel me? Like I don't get nothing out of that. But it's just like the parents today, man. Like I've been thinking if I want to world a little bit, we kind of should get back to like making them clinic maybe once or twice with some coaches and things like that to get kind of like more stop building these super teams and get back to developing. Because sometimes these kids they come to us playing on these teams and they just can hit. They can't backpedal. They can't read to the one, and they don't know how to really run a slant. Like it's like you like teaching them how to ride a bike again. And
Right.
like I'm saying, I read something that it was a coach. I think the defensive coordinator from Oklahoma State. He said the best coaches are high school coaches because you don't know what they got to do. They got to develop. They got a game plan. They
Right.
teach. They got to work. They still got their own families and still make it happen to get these kids prepared to come to us. So and we take pride in making sure our kids is like good on the chalkboard, on the classroom, being physical, being respectful. Like you know what I'm saying. Like what we always say is what defines a man is what you're doing when nobody's looking. But
Right.
me and Coach Chan always instilled in all our players who you really are is when I turn my back. That's who you really are.
That's right.
But don't be a wolf in sheep clothing in front of me or a good boy. As soon as I turn my back, you putting your hands on people or you
Right.
respecting people. That's not you who you are when my back is turned. So that's more what I'm on. I'm big on accountability, man. I'm big on accountability. I'm big on the guys being physical, tough mentally and physically, because I know when they get to that level, what I'm saying, like Gary and Dillis, y'all had kids on that level. They came in and the honeymoon is over once it's signing day, yo. All that
Yeah.
calling you every day and patting you on the back, the honeymoon is over, right? Am I right?
Yeah, first I want to say, Coach Gary, I can truly relate to you. I think I'm gonna come by your church and get some holy water
Well, come
because I've
on.
been coaching for 25 years at the youth level, and I think that's where it starts at. And a lot of these parents, they don't understand. It's almost like you got to teach the parents. A quick story of Chip Kelly. He did a background check on me and my son's mom. So they take this stuff serious. I don't think the parents understand that they are a direct reflection of their kids. And I had parents tell me, well, how many times you gonna give my son the ball? If not, give me his ID. Or I even had a parent tell me, or my son don't play this position. And I don't think these parents understand they're bringing in other people to replace your son. So I think it goes to that. But my question is this: first, let me give homage to all the coaches on here for your time and your devotion to the sport. I often wonder, should salesmen be a part of the coach's curriculum? Because in this new era, it seems like if you don't tell a parent what they want to hear, like Houdini, they gone. So I want to know what your stance on that is, and also me being a parent, and I have a 14-year-old son, if I were to come to your school, please give me your pitch or your introduction as to why I should come to your school. And I just want a few coaches to answer this for me, if you will.
For one, I feel like you know, if you already given me an opportunity, and I'm an option, I kind of think my resume and my background already speaks a lot for itself to why you even consider bringing your kid to my school. Um, but for one, I'm a straight out honest dude, man. Lies create more lies, and I ain't got time for it. So, um, you know what I mean? If your kid's a quarterback and my quarterback's coming back and he just had a great year, there ain't no competition. He's my quarterback. So if you can't dig with that, some other schools might need a quarterback. No, but like I said, bro, like honestly, I'm gonna be real with every. I don't overload at positions. I don't need everybody. You know what I mean? Because I believe in less is more. Um, my 3 years here, I haven't dealt with no parent meetings or complaints about playing time. And what the main thing though, to tell you the truth, my pitch when I meet with a family, man, I'm kind of checking out the parent and how and who they are more than the kid because I have a great culture here and I don't need the ignorance in the stands. You know what I mean? You all in or you all out at the end of the day. So um, cause a lot of it to be real, man, the youth football culture is bad. The youth football culture is bad. Coach Gary, you just kind of talked about, people, gonna give my son this amount of ball, give me the ID back, which means they're gonna quit. You know, I don't want all that. I don't need all that. You know what I mean? I sit back from afar. I watch parents on Facebook groups and how they talk about coaches and this and that. I don't give a damn how good your kid is. I'll be fine without him. I done been here 17 years and I've done just fine without him. And that kind of character of dealing with parents. So I just try to make sure, man, that who I bring in as a culture because the parents are part of your your team culture and they're important too. But as far as the kid, man, it's simple. If you tough enough to be held responsible, accountable every day, um, then I'm probably the guy that's going to that's good to be your coach because um, I don't go for all of the I don't know what you I don't know if your mom and daddy let you cuss and say nigga and all that, but in my presence it ain't gonna be allowed at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because it ain't gonna be allowed when you get a day job also. You know what I mean? So um, it just being helpful young man. But if you're a quarterback, you want to throw the ball out, and I'm the guy to come with. And the parents, if you want your kid to feel safe and you know that he's in good hands with somebody that's gonna take care of him and look after him like he's my own, then you're gonna send him the ball in park. But if you want to get promises. You know, if you want me to tell you that, you know, your 6'3", 260-pound kid gonna get some carries, I ain't the one, because he gonna be playing left tackle or something for me
Yeah.
at that size. You know what I mean? So, you know, a lot of people, man, don't. A lot of people, but this ain't for everybody. A lot of people fall for the banana in the tailpipe and the dust of smoke. So, uh, that's on them. You know, at the end of the day, only 22 kids can start on the field for me. I don't need 22 studs. I don't need a stack team. I want good players and good young men that's all bought in. You know, I don't care about. I don't give a damn about what you did in youth football. I didn't. I didn't seen all the studs in youth football become duds in high school, and I seen the hardest working kid. You know, who parents, you know, didn't let them quit because they wasn't getting the ball. You know, kept pushing them. I seen those kids succeed and get scholarships and get drafted. You know, so the problem though, man, like I said, youth culture is toxic. Um, I wish things wasn't as bad as it was, but again, you know, it's nothing that I can control. I just wish that parents will start doing better, and I wish that they'll start appreciating and understanding what coaches actually do out here for young men. You know, because it ain't easy. You know what I mean? It's easy to sit up there drinking 211 and talk about somebody who's not doing right, or you know, if I pass the ball and it don't work, you should say run the ball. That's easy to say. Anybody can coach doing that. But just to understand, like Coach D said, like your kid with me all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He with me all day. He, he go home with you. He eating Takis and playing Fortnite. He ain't even communicating with you. You know what I mean? So um, it's about respect. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's about respect. Um, you know, but if you want your kid to get popping and come to a program that's gonna win uh, and and play for a coach who ain't gonna lie to you, then you know you couldn't ballpark. But you know if you want to be catered to and all that stuff, then you go put Beyonce
Man,
on.
like we had a travel thing. Like me and it was called, man, like Four Quarter Sports, and we changed the name to PASS, Power, Agility, Speed, and Strength. But we did it. But we had our guys aligned. It was most of the kids played for us. Maybe a sprinkle of outside kids that we kind of had relationships with, their parents and uncles or cousins or one of our players' family. So it was always family oriented. And when we did it, the circuit was fun back in the day.
Yeah.
We didn't have to make it seem like it was going to be like we about to go in the in the enemy tank and it's going to be a Thunderdome. You know what I'm saying? Like how it is now with big melees and things like that. The most they did was maybe punt the ball was the most like disrespectful thing they did.
Yeah.
Like or they'd spin the ball or they'd clap in somebody's face, but it never was really no punches thrown. Like to just see the game get disrespected the way it is now,
Hmm.
I don't even want to go watch it to see who's good. I don't feel safe. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
right.
I don't need to be out there ducking and running, and I don't need to be out there, man, like breaking up no fight and accidentally get hit. Then it's a whole nother issue. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? 'Cause I can't just be leaving there. You know what I'm saying? In my drawers, and I'm like, man, think I don't even think that's funny to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. We know what you're talking about though. That's why.
it was heartbreaking hearing that. Like we go way to Arizona to act like fools. Like that's embarrassing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we talk about it all the time. Like man, we don't even go out there no more. I used to be on the circuit. All the rivals around me, I'm getting a kid. Like we looked out for our high school kids. Man, they getting 3 stars, 4 stars. And Adam Gorney's and Brendan Huffman and Greg Biggins
Yeah.
and Gerard Martinez and all that stuff. Like I know all them guys are good friend of mine, and they just like see the growth that we had as just great assistants doing what we supposed to do for our head coaches and growing the head coaches to men like being like successful. They was there every step of the way and proud of us. But I don't like. I'm more at the stage now, like Maxie tell you that, like we're not calling hassling for a profile score. The parents still think that's it. The college coaches they want to see tape. It's all about tape. If you not putting out there on that HDMI and that camera, it don't matter. Like the t-shirt shorts only take you so far. If you not putting it out there with that click track on and making some plays and playing at a high level, the t-shirt short thing only gonna take you so far. And only potential guys gonna be 6'3" and up. If you
Right.
6'3" to 6'5" to 6'6", 260 pounds or higher, you're gonna get action on potential. But if you're a little daddy, you got to do everything right. Plus, you got to be
Yeah.
explosive, fast,
Right.
quick, twitchy. You got to have great ball skills. You got to have great cover skills. You got to jump high. You got to do things to stand out. You know
Agree.
what I'm saying?
I just think it changed once. It's not about development anymore.
Right.
I think around the time these talking about, you had the Pro Way, the B2G, the Ground Zero, the Premium. Um, you had your few body by trade. You had some, you had your organizations, but the difference between now and then was the people running those organizations respected each other.
Right.
Respected the competition of who we're going against. So it never used to be crazy when it came down to it. You know what
Right.
I mean? Now I just think a coach get nine kids in the van, all of a sudden he got an organization.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you're not respected by your kids, when things start getting a little chippy, you can't stop them from doing, from escalating. And I think that's a big problem with what's going on now is that, for one, this is pay for play.
Right.
So it ain't even about getting better or development. Now everybody want to do head top signs and all the faces and all that kind of stuff, and it's all disrespectful. It's all about being disrespectful now. Like I know when we was doing it, everybody didn't. Everybody, the cameras and the videos wasn't for everybody. It was for the dudes that was out there just making plays.
Right.
It was for the dudes who couldn't be stopped. Now, you know, little 5'7", 125 pound dudes, you know what I mean, guard a receiver and the receiver dropped the ball and he doing seatbelt like he done did something. You know what I mean? Now he posting it and it's just man, I just think that the intention is wrong now.
My take on 7 on 7 is a little bit different. It's somewhat how what Maxie and Devan talked about. In the earlier days, it was all about the sports writers. You know what I mean? The sports writer was at the 7 on 7s and it was to get guys exposure, right? Now you got a lot of these backyard boogies, right? And there no sports writers. Everybody say, hey, everybody get $500. You get a team, you come in this tournament, and everybody get 10 kids, put in $75 so they can have some weekend money. You know what I mean? So you got a group of kids that's at a high school or a field with no lines, no chalks, no referees. You know what I mean? No writers. You know what I mean? So the exposure part is out of it. So the writers not even going to it because they terrified to go because they don't want to, you know what I'm saying, be caught up in a brawl or any type of stuff like that. So the writers is out of it. So I stopped going to stuff like that. So my 7 on 7 is solely at colleges. I go to Arizona State 7 on 7. I go to Oregon 7 on 7. I'm going to San Diego State 7 on 7. We took a tour all over the West Coast, going to 7 on 7s with colleges. It does two things, right? It gives your kids the exposure to go see the campuses, right? And it gives the parents some reality checks whether your kid, and I'm throwing everybody out there. I'm throwing from the ones that think that their kids are good because really I'm not trying to go out to Arizona and win a 7 on 7 tournament. I want the coaches to see either you can or you can't. Like my
Right.
boy Devan say, either you a Yorkie or you a pit bull. You know what I mean?
Right.
So everybody get a taste, and you gonna be in front of college coaches, and they're gonna be able to tell you either I can or I can't. I'm gonna get out there. I do all this talking in the city, but now we down in Tempe, Arizona, was 138 degrees. Get out there and see if we can go stick somebody and do what you do out here. So we've been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years. It's been success with us, you know what I mean? Where guys get out there and get some exposure. And it's been some times where you take a group of guys that have got those offers and they go to these tournaments because they have a big name for themselves and they stink up the joint. So when they get back to the house, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing I can do about it. I set the table for you, you know what I'm saying? Prepared a full course meal for you. I'm not gonna feed you.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to feed yourself. So, when they get out there and you know what I'm saying, they wet the bed, what my boy say, the moment's too big, you piss down your leg. You know what I mean? Blame nobody but themselves. You know what I mean? But there has been, there has been times where I didn't took guys out there, young kids, young bulls that went out there and got offered up at every school they went to. And we know how it goes. It's trickle effect. One school offered, the next school go offer. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And if you can ball, you can ball. So my take on 7 on 7 is I'm going to. I know Coach D went to San Diego State last year, and it's better. You know what I'm saying? First of all, they're not gonna show out in front of these college coaches because if they do, you know what I'm saying, you're not really trying to go to college. And then it's
Right.
capped off because everybody, you know what I mean, all the colleges, like right now, San Diego State only having one 48 teams. They got 37 teams already. You know what I mean? So
Dang.
that's what I'm doing. I'm taking them to the colleges so it can kill two birds with one stone.
Yep. So as far as myself being here at Verb, we haven't really gotten out. Just really trying to just develop camaraderie within the brethren. But my prior school, Maya Angelou, just like Coach Atkins, you know, we took those kids every year to Vegas. We went to San Diego State. So those were the tournaments that we really took our kids to. Again, I'm not for wasting time, right? I need to be efficient with my time. And so with that, I'm not a fighter, right? Those days have passed. So if I see foolishness, I'm not coming. But again, like Coach Ant, man, we're taking our kids to the college. I think it's beneficial, more development. You get a lot of eyes on you to be able to take care of business. So that's what we do here.
Right.
Definitely shout out to Verbum Day. Pastor
Let,
Gary.
let me go. I'll jump back and then I'll keep it brief. I know I'm a Baptist preacher, but I'm gonna keep it
Yeah,
brief, right?
yes,
But
sir.
um, our program here at Verbum Day, the question was asked, you know, what's your sales pitch? I'm the sales pitch, right? I just think that as coaches, we are the front line, right? We can sell our campus as best we can, but I think Devan said it best. You know, when I get you, I'm with you, right? You need to know who I am. You need to know my assistant coaches, right? You need to know my character. You need to know my makeup because I'm with your son more than you, right? Because if I fail your son, you're going to know it, right? So, with that being said, what I sell is myself. I can't make any promises, but one thing I can't control is my character and my integrity. I can coach football, right? But you got to take care of the classroom. And so that's pretty much my sales pitch there.
Okay. What? I'm not gonna let you get out of here, Pastor Gary. Coach Dennis was asking, "What's your why?"
My why is a student athlete, right? That's my why. My why is a student athlete, just making sure that they get to the next level, whether it's academically or athletically. That's my why.
Hey, changing lives. There you go, Pastor Gary. Mr. Maxie. Coach Dennis was asking, "What's the why?"
Man, honestly, man, my why is the love of football, man. Football, I think, saved my life. Um, it saved a lot of other kids' life, and I think that I'm in a great position to put myself in position to be a role model, and for kids that might be a little lost and need to get bumped on track a little bit. Um, and to guide, and to lead kids. I believe God doesn't make mistakes. I'm here for a reason, and this is why I've been doing what I've been doing for a long time. And you know, I just think football, man. It's I love football. And these kids think they love football, but they don't love football. They just good at playing it. But football changed my life. Um, now it's a way to it helps take care of my family as well. You know what I mean? So, yeah, my wife, man, I just want to give back, man. I want to be able to make sure that I want to help. I want to help put more kids in uniforms and suites and them running their own business instead of being one to help them lead them to the grave or the jail cell.
Man, hey, that's great words by Coach Maxie over there at Baldwin Park. Coach D, tell him your why, man. I know you. Go ahead and tell him. I like you, Coach D. Go ahead and tell him your why.
Man, I'm saying like my why is, I'm saying like this is my ministry, like Coach Gary, this is how I, and this is my community outreach and kind of just help these kids, man. So as long as I'm stopping them from, I'm saying like I tell them, this kind of dictatorship, it ain't a dialogue. I'm not telling you to go breaking AutoZone. I'm not telling you to climb through a doggy hole. I'm telling you something that help and that help them become great in life. So I mean, I think my players they kind of, I kind of do like a team bonding every year that we do. We started, we kind of like spend the night in at midnight. We kind of stop the activities and have like a keep it real circle. You know what I'm saying? That bring my team tight every year. Is you will never know what these kids go if you never talk to them. You know what I'm saying? So I tell them my story how, like I was homeless doing this. You know what I'm saying? I love this so much for about 6, 7 months. Coach Atkins took me in. So me and him was roommates. Me and him was doing so bad as assistant coaches. Like people don't know this. Me and him had to wait till the school and watch family 11 at night to share Uber to go home. Like we didn't have, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have no money. So for us to run two respected programs and becoming head coaches, like God really blessed us. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause we really saw the grind. You know what I'm saying? When nobody was looking, the work that we was putting in, and the sacrifices that we made for these young men today. So our guys been in the NFL and flying us to games and things like that. I saw Coach
Sir,
really.
appreciate it.
You
Coach Coach Atkins, we're gonna make it short. Tell us your why, man. I can already tell a little bit of what's your why, but you somebody we want to thank. Turf Talk wants to thank you for help putting this together. We want to continue this. So we're gonna count on you to keep them coming in so we can keep getting this LA County out there so people can hear LA County football. Go ahead, coach.
Hey, I'm a still one from Pastor Parks. Now, I say this all the time, man. If you knew me how I knew me, you wouldn't want to know me. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? But I think about Matthew 5:16. It say, let your light shine that people may see your good deeds, so they can come to the Father in heaven and see how good He is. It's a ministry, man. And we're not allowed to do this. We called to do this, and I think a lot of coaches get it wrong because they think that they're allowed to coach or they good at X's and O's. But if we understand God don't make mistakes, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And if we really put that in perspective, we got to understand that God is allowing us to be around kids each and every day to be able to minister and to be able to influence. And the influence that we give, when we give it a negative influence and we nigga this, nigga that, mother for this, disrespecting women, you know what I'm saying? Then that's the product that we're putting out on the street. But if you're doing these good deeds and you're doing God's work, it's always gonna get paid to you tenfold. And I'm a strong believer that wealth, riches, ain't got nothing to do with dollar signs. Sometimes it's wisdom, sometimes it's love, sometimes
Right.
it's knowledge or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm rich in all of those things. I might not be rich in dollars, you know what I mean, but I'm rich in everything else. And I'm just blessed to be able to be able to give back and know where I came from, you know what I'm saying, and how God has given me an opportunity to be able to minister, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, my why is my two kids. You know what I mean? They kept me going. I got a daughter and a son, and every morning I wake up, that's my why that's gonna keep me going because they the only thing that I love more than myself. You know what I mean? And I'm sure every parent on here feel that way. The only thing you love more than yourself is what you birth. You know what I'm saying? And I want to make sure that I'm my son's Superman, and I'm my dad, and I'm my daughter's Romeo. You
yeah,
know what I mean? So I want to
yeah.
make sure I'm always congruent with that.
Amen.
Definitely appreciate you, Coach Atkins. Coach Dennis, you still on there? All right, Gary, you want to lead us out of here, man? I want to tell everybody thank you again, Coach Atkins. I'm serious about us keeping this going. Please, let's stay in touch, tap in, and let's keep this going. And for the summer, let's blow up LA County football.
For
Co-
sure.
Right. You
Coach
know,
Gary,
I want to say, every day we wake up, we have a chance and a choice. For me, I made some bad choices, but my why is I refuse to let these other kids go down the road that I went down. And I want to end this segment saying this: wanting more is irrelevant without becoming more. Invest in you. Don't lose who you are based on someone else's inability to see your worth. You will use up everything trying to give everybody what they want. Stay blessed. Peace, love, and happiness. We are Turf Talk. Thank you, all coaches.
hey,
All
hey,
right,
Turf
have a good
Talk.
one.
We're gonna call this Volume One, Los Angeles County Volume One. Volume
Yes,
Two,
sir.
we're gonna get with Coach Atkins. He'll let you guys know, and we'll put it together again. Appreciate you, man. Much love. Keep doing the work. And you guys are, you know what I'm saying, you guys are highly favored, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Thank you for
All right.
having us.
All right.
Thank you.